June 9th, 2008. Inside a quiet suburban home in Mesa, Arizona, something was terribly wrong. A young man hadn't shown up for work in days. His friends were worried, but nothing could prepare them for what they were about to find. In the shower of that house lay a body, stabbed, shot, nearly unrecognizable. Who could commit such a brutal crime? At first, police believed it might have been robbery, but soon one name kept appearing in the investigation. A woman who once claimed she loved him. Her name was Jodi Arias, and the man who lost his life was Travis Alexander. What began as a passionate romance would soon become one of the most disturbing murder cases in modern America. Before the headlines, before the trial, before the shocking details, there was Travis. Travis Alexander grew up in a difficult environment. His childhood was far from easy, but he fought hard to build a better life for himself. By his late 20s, Travis had become a successful motivational speaker and salesman for the company Prepaid Legal Services. Friends described him as charismatic, ambitious, and deeply religious. He was heavily involved with the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and many people admired his dedication to faith and self-improvement. Travis loved helping others succeed. He hosted gatherings at his home, he mentored younger friends, and he constantly talked about the future he wanted. But there was one part of his life that many of his friends worried about: his relationship with Jodi Arias. Travis met Jodi Arias in 2006 at a business conference. At first, their connection felt electric. They talked for hours. They flirted constantly. Within months, their relationship became intense, but it was also unstable. Friends would later describe their relationship as toxic. They would break up, then get back together again. Arguments became frequent. Despite their problems, Jodi seemed deeply attached to Travis, sometimes obsessively. By June 2008, the two were no longer officially together, but they still communicated. On June 4, 2008, Jodi Arias arrived at Travis's home in Mesa, Arizona. According to her later statements, the visit was casual. They talked, they took photos together, even posed playfully with Travis's camera. But what happened next would shock the world. Because sometime that evening, the relationship between Travis and Jodi ended in the most brutal way imaginable. Days passed. Friends noticed something strange. Travis wasn't answering calls. He missed an important work conference, and for someone as responsible as Travis, that was extremely unusual. Finally, on June 9th, several friends went to check on him at his home. What they found was horrifying. Inside the bathroom shower lay Travis's body. He had been stabbed 27 times, his throat had been slit, and he had been shot in the head. The scene was so violent that investigators initially believed it had to be the work of multiple attackers. But the truth would turn out to be even more disturbing, because the killer had left something behind, something investigators would soon discover on Travis's own camera. Detectives from the Mesa Police Department began examining the home carefully. Then they discovered Travis's digital camera. At first, the images looked normal. Photos of Travis, photos of Jodi, pictures taken earlier that day. But when investigators recovered deleted files from the memory card, they made a chilling discovery. The camera had accidentally captured the crime itself. Several photos showed Travis in the shower. Moments later, there were blurry images taken during the attack, and then one final photograph. Travis lying on the bathroom floor, motionless. The timestamps told investigators something critical. The photos were taken around the time Jodi claimed she was nowhere near the house. Suddenly, she became the primary suspect. When police questioned her, she denied everything. She claimed she hadn't seen Travis in months, but the evidence told a different story. Her fingerprints were found at the scene, and her story kept changing. First, she said she wasn't there. Then she claimed masked intruders had killed Travis. Finally, she admitted she had been there, but now she said it was self-defense.
Investigators didn't believe her, and the deeper they dug into the relationship between Jodi and Travis, the darker the story became. As the investigation unfolded, disturbing details about Jodi Arias began to emerge. Friends of Travis described her as controlling and jealous. Some said she secretly accessed his social media accounts. Others claimed she slashed his car tires. But the most shocking evidence came from Jodi herself. During police interrogation, investigators confronted her with the camera photos. At first, she tried to explain them away, but eventually the evidence was undeniable. She had been in the house at the exact moment Travis was killed. The case exploded into national attention when the trial began in 2013. During testimony, Jodi admitted she had killed Travis, but she insisted it was because she feared for her life. Prosecutors told a completely different story. They argued the murder was premeditated. They pointed to the rental car she used to drive to Arizona, the gas cans she brought to avoid stopping along the way, and the way she attempted to clean the crime scene afterward. To them, this wasn't self-defense. It was a carefully planned act of revenge. And the brutality of the attack suggested overwhelming rage. After months of intense testimony, emotional witnesses, and shocking evidence, the jury reached their verdict. In May 2013, Jodi Arias was found guilty of first-degree murder. The case became one of the most widely followed trials in the United States. Televised courtroom moments spread across the internet. Millions watched as the disturbing details of the relationship were revealed. Eventually, Jodi Arias was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. She was sent to the Arizona State Prison Complex, Perryville. Meanwhile, friends and family of Travis Alexander continued to honor his memory. They remembered him not for the tragedy that ended his life, but for the positivity and ambition that defined it. Even today, the case leaves haunting questions behind. What truly happened in those final moments inside the bathroom? Was it rage, jealousy, or something darker that had been building for months? Because in the end, a man who believed in love, faith, and personal growth met a brutal fate at the hands of someone he once trusted. And somewhere in a prison cell, the woman responsible still insists she was the real victim. The story of Jodi Arias and Travis Alexander remains one of the most chilling reminders that sometimes the most dangerous person in your life is the one who once said they loved you. If you enjoy true crime stories that uncover the darkest mysteries behind real cases, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who loves true crime, because the next story might be even more disturbing.